Sometimes games look just like you think they're going to look, and that's playing Wyoming tonight. You know, we know they have the ability to run a lot of clock at the offensive end. They swing the ball, they ball screen, they cut, they move. So they're very patient. So it's a low possession game. But on the board, I put up there, like at their place, 7 or under threes. At their place, they had 5. I think tonight they had 6. And they hit some hard ones. But they can shoot the 3. But I just felt there weren't enough tough 2s in the game for them to beat us in our building. So they scored some tough 2s, but we didn't give them the number of 3s they needed to come out with a win, which would have probably been 12, 14 threes, and we gave them 6 for the game. So that was pretty good defense. Offensively, they zoned us. They matched up, played a 3-2, and matched out of it. And we did a really good job. You know, we scored at different things within our offense. We threw it inside to Yanni and Nolan. That was productive. We set ball screens, which got our guards downhill, and that was productive. And then we just moved the ball and drove gaps. And we ended up shooting 54% for the game, which is really good. And I think really well from the 3. What were the numbers from 3? 9 for 20, which is really good shooting. So I thought we played a really solid offensive game. And the reason the points weren't high is because the possessions weren't that high. It was a low possession game, and they dictated that. In the first half, we were able to press them a little bit and create a turnover or 2 to open up a little space between us at halftime, and then they just battled along the second half and played a pretty good game, Wyoming did. They're a good team, and that's hard to say because they haven't won a game. But I watched them lose to UNLV when they missed free throws down the stretch. I watched them take Nevada to the last play of the game. So we always have respect for our opponents. We never overlook anybody. We never feel like we're just going to step out there and win with talent. We feel like we have to prepare for everybody, that everybody has a shot to be good, and our guys do a good job preparing no matter who their opponent is or what their record is.
They came in the game ranked as one of the worst offensive teams in Division I, really struggled to score. And they were able to score a little bit on you. Was that just a case of like Hendricks made really, really tough shots, or did you see some lapses? Malachi just said there were a couple lapses in offensive boards.
Yeah, we gave up some second shots that I didn't much care for. You know, we got refused down the baseline. I told him, you know, I was pretty heated in a timeout or 2, and I just told him, I'm mad, and it has nothing to do with this game. There are going to be possessions down the road where we're in a 1 or 2 possession game, and those things can't happen. So understand when I tell you this. I'm happy we're ahead. I'm happy we're playing pretty good, but we have greater goals ahead of us, and we can't make the mistakes we're making right now. And it's just teaching moments, a teachable moment, to try to make a point to them on the game floor that things that happen out there can't happen in a close game. So even in a victory, you have moments where you can say it can't happen when 2 games from now. And we're in a tough stretch now. We know that. I told him that. 3 out of the next 4 on the road. And this is kind of a little proving ground now that we go back on the road and see if we can continue to take care of business away from Viejas.
Obviously, getting to 20-0, obviously you're here with the last team that got to that point. What's it mean for this team to equal that mark and get to 20 wins without a loss?
Yeah, I just told him it's a tremendous honor to be compared to such a great team. But this team has its own identity and its own goals, and it feels good. But like you said, they don't hang banners for 20-0, only for conference championships, and we're trying to win a Mountain West title, and that's our goal right now.
You, in terms of shooting percentage, based on some context and program history, you're up in all the major categories: field goal percentage, three-point percentage, free throw percentage. Some people might say it's as simple as those transfers collectively are better shooters, but is it that simple, or is there more to it?
I think it helps playing with big men that can pass the ball. You know, you got to find shots, and so when Yanni gets it, if they double him, he gets someone an open shot every time, and Nolan too. Nolan's a very good passing big man. So you have to have shooters, but you have to find ways to get those shots. So sometimes you have to set a ball screen, have everybody roll, and then lift the guy in the corner and get a shot. So we kind of know where our shooters are. We know how to find them, and we play unselfish. You know, I don't think you really see a lot of selfish play out there from the Aztecs. We usually move that ball really well and create open shots for a teammate.
What's the update on AG?
I haven't talked to Sergio, the doctor, but AG told the team after the game he was fine. I take that to mean he's available to play. So we'll find out what it is. If it was just scared because he tweaked it a little or what it is, we'll talk to the doctors and Sergio, our trainer, and find out more. We have a day off tomorrow, so get a little bit of update after tomorrow.
What goes through your mind when you see that happen and you know his injury history and you also know that you actually took an extra week than when he was supposed to come back for this very reason, just so he would be
Yeah.
solid and not. I mean, what goes through your mind when you see that and also knowing that Nathan's out?
Yeah, I just, I saw him, I could tell it was his shoulder, but, as much as anything, maybe that's something where a guy's nervous about hurting it again, he tweaks it a little, and maybe it's not that severe. I don't know, so I think he wanted to stay in the game. He went, he definitely felt something. You could see it in his face. He didn't run down the floor, but then he started running back the other way as if he wanted to keep playing, and I took him out at that point. So I hope he's healthy because he deserves to be. He's such a hard-working kid and a great kid that he deserves to be on the floor, but obviously his health is the number one concern, and we'll see how he is moving forward.
Did he want to go back in? You said no?
I don't think he asked to go back in. Once he was out at that point in the game, we had a pretty good lead, and it might have been different. All of a sudden it tightened up, and I needed him. I might have asked him, are you capable, and asked the trainer, is he capable of playing? But it didn't come to that, so I just kind of let him rest the rest of the game.
Offensively, with this particular team, have you done anything preseason, prep, planning, anything that was different with the offensive end of the court than you did your first two seasons?
I mean, we have probably better shooters, 1 through 4 out there. I mean, with Matt at the power forward right now, we got Jordan, Matt, KJ, and Malachi. Those guys can all shoot the ball. And then you look at our last game before this, Yanni hit 2 threes straight on. So the three-point shot is a weapon for us, but we have to shoot it well because we don't get to the foul line that much. We have to do a better job at times getting the foul line. Other things offensively, I don't think we're a very good offensive rebounding team at times. We don't get many putbacks. So that's something I'd like to see us maybe get a little better at moving forward. Someone's got to go in there, and it could be a guard. I don't care who it is. Someone needs to get in there and pick up a second chance opportunity. So those are areas that we need to work on. But as far as shooting the ball, we shoot the ball extremely well.
Coach, it must have been nice this past month to kind of have your players solely focus on basketball. But with school starting, do you feel like, anything changes, or is there any concern with, their minds are obviously busy with other things now?
Sometimes I think it's good to be in a routine too, where you're not just have practice and you're trying to find something to do the rest of your day. So I like the fact they're going to class, that after class they come over, get something to eat, and come to practice. I think a routine is good for them sometimes, and so it is what it is. School starts and we're going to school, so we'll get them back in that routine and get them comfortable with that, and as we continue to play good basketball.
The 2010 team, 2011 team had a similar pattern where against teams that they were supposed to beat, sometimes didn't beat them by as much as people expected, but then when they played very good teams, they were locked in and ready to go. This team seems to be following that. Would you agree with that? And is that just human nature?
I just think, I thought Wyoming played a good half. We wanted to beat them up if we could. I mean, we weren't trying to take it easy on them, but they made enough plays and made enough tough threes. I mean, that kid hit some incredible threes. We're switching out and he's shooting over us, and they attack the basket. And so, like I said, the difference between winning and losing is so small. So they're, as bad as their record is, they're not a bad basketball team. I think anybody who would watch that game go, if you didn't know the record, you go, wow, Wyoming's got a chance. They're pretty good, and they are. And they're getting better, and that's the key. Who knows what they'll be like if they stay with it. The hard part is sticking to it. So if they stay with it, they'll get better. And if we stay with it, we'll get better from where we are right now because we have room to get better. So it's just part of the long season.
Coach, do you think having this accolade of 20-0, being the last team undefeated, and the wear and tear that comes at this point in the season, do you ever find yourself and the coaching staff ever having to do extra motivation, or does this group sort of ignite a spark in itself?
No, they're workmanlike. So they go to work every day. Some guys like to go to work, and so they like to go to work. They come in and work hard for us, and we don't have to motivate them. But obviously as a coach, you try to motivate them every day, just by a simple message or something thought that you put in their minds about moving forward. And so we do that, but they're who they are because of the way their parents raised them and the high school coaching they had. And we're just kind of finishing the product. They came here as good people and good players, and so we're fortunate to have them, and we're just trying to continue their growth.
Coach, I don't know how much outside basketball, at least outside of San Diego State, you digest on a game day, but towards the end of a Kansas State-Kansas game, big brawl at the very end, benches clear, guys are going into the stands. I don't know if you saw that or have a reaction to it, but what do you think when you hear something like that when two teams, when it just dissolves like that?
Yeah, you think we better talk to our team about it. Because basketball is competitive, and one play, and all of a sudden you look up and your kids run off the bench because we haven't talked about it, because it's nothing we anticipate with our group. But I'm not naive enough to know that if something heated happened, that they have to know what's right and wrong and what behavior's tolerated and what behavior's not tolerated. So we'll have a talk about it. So if we all of a sudden end up in that situation, which is very unlikely, that at least as a coach we've talked about it.